Well, as you guys just saw, we did some work on the interior of the van, and believe it or not, it's been quite some time since then. We're starting to get into fall now.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
The hardest part about getting this van worked on is my son drives it every day for work, and he's been working a lot of hours. So you can see the spot's empty over there. So what I want to do is get you to an intro of the next thing that we had done on the van, but it might cover some ground that's already been covered previously on videos. So for you guys that have watched all our videos, basically as we do them, oh, it got real dark there. You're going to see some familiar clips here, but for the van build series, this is going to pick up with that freezer that you saw that my son, we were positioning inside to take a look on how it would fit. Yeah, we're going to cover that freezer real quick. So let's go to that clip. Like an old style chest cooler that you may have had years ago, because it's all metal and they don't really make coolers out of metal anymore. This does come with a locking hasp, so if you've got something you're trying to protect, you can put it in there, and this is a positive latch, and then of course you can put a little lock through here. If somebody wants in there though, they're going to get in there. Then there's handles on the outside that are spring-loaded, that have kind of a softer grip to them, a textured grip, makes it a little bit easier to carry. And then there's a drain plug down below, like most refrigerator freezers have. There's some ventilation that's provided here on the front for some components. It looks like the power, and then this would probably be for the compressor on the side here. Now I got a scratch and dent one, and this is what I got, and I got a discount for that little ding there, which I don't have a problem with. And then the same here, some ventilation there. Here's the model number if you want the details on that. And there was some other stuff that I found online that I thought was interesting, which we'll look at here in a second. But here's the inside. I still haven't taken the plastic off yet. There's two baskets. They're removable baskets. Now they're taped together still, but these are removable and they are separate. So as far as the overall size, I've got some dimensions here. You can see kind of what the length and the width and the height is, and how deep it is. And basically I'm showing you here all the dimensions so you can get an idea of maybe if you want to put it in a compartment of some kind, how far the lid can open and still clear whatever's right above it. But you do have to have an air gap all the way around the freezer, so it will work correctly. So the manual, you can see here, it's pretty, I don't know, sparse. There's not a lot to it, and I'm kind of happy about that because it tells you what you need to know, and just that's it. No extra clutter. If there's something extra you want to know, you can get online, and again, FAQ, they'll tell you what you need to know about it. The other thing you can do is call their customer service, which I did. Now their customer service, this is the number, it's 1-866-949-6837. They're Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. I got my phone call answered right away. Somebody who spoke perfect English. And as far as the answer that I got, it was immediate. They didn't have to put me on hold. They knew exactly what I was talking about. And that was something that you want to do too. Whenever you get yours delivered by whoever delivers it, don't just think because they delivered it upright that it hasn't been on its side or upside down at any point in time. With a compressor style refrigerator freezer like this one is, you have to let the refrigerant go back into the compressor before you plug it in. If you plug it in prematurely, it will burn up the compressor immediately. Let's get to this other paperwork. This is some of the information that came from their FAQ page, and I'll see if I can put a link in here. If not, we'll just go ahead and look at what I've got printed out. And this is all the information as far as the power consumption and when you're running it. And this is the outside temperature, 77, 90, 109. That's whatever this refrigerator freezer is seeing on the outside. And then the power consumption on AC and then DC power. Of course, you've got different battery amp hours that's suggested for each one of these situations, and as far as the battery time usage, and it even talks about solar power and solar panel charging time. Very, very interesting that they've already done a lot of this research for us, so we can get a good idea of what we need to do and what we need to have. Again, this is on their FAQ. This is a gauge that we keep in our freezer downstairs. Now this gauge is relatively accurate. Right now it's about 72 degrees in the house. This gauge is a baked on enamel stamped metal gauge from 1973. It's been in the refrigerator, freezer, I should say, our deep freezer downstairs since Sears delivered it in 1973. It's actually a 1972 model freezer, but it was early 73 that it was installed in the basement. And this does a really good job, so we're going to use this as a gauge. And I'm going to put it halfway down through, and I'm going to kind of put it halfway in the middle of the refrigerator freezer. So we'll put it right there, and we'll let it tell us what happens. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and plug this in for the very first time, and it's just into the household outlet. You can see what the display says. There's a bunch of information here. I'll have to figure that out as we go along, but I'm not really here to explain all that. It is saying that it is on AC power, and it says what the temperature is currently inside, which is 68 degrees. Now, as far as the compressor, it's currently running right now, and we can adjust the temperature through here. There's also a button that says set, and that's when you're running on DC power. You can set it to cut off at different amperages, which is a brilliant idea. So let's say your battery gets down to 11 volts. This thing will cut off at 11 volts so it doesn't pull on the battery anymore. Really nice feature. And again, there's 3 different settings for that. It's all in the manual. It shows you how to do that. I'm not going to show that to you today, but we're going to go over how to set at least the temperature. So now that it's got this, pretty simple, plus and minus. As you can see, it's real simple. You just push set and then you push the up and down button, and I'm going to set it to 23 degrees. 23 degrees is quite honestly a little bit warmer than a freezer, obviously, but a little bit cooler than a refrigerator. Now, as far as checking the temperature, all you got to do is push the set button, and that tells you what the temperature currently is set at. Whenever it beeps, that lets you know what it currently is at. So currently it's 68 degrees inside the refrigerator. It's 11:45 a.m. We'll see how long it takes to get to that 23 degrees I just set it at. And you can see that we are 22 degrees, so it's definitely lower than the 23 degrees that we set it at. And I don't know exactly when it got there, but it got there faster than I expected. Right now it is currently 12:55. So it was an hour and 10 minutes, and we're already at running temperature. Again, possibly sooner. Let's go ahead and confirm that with the gauge that's inside here to make sure. Yep, it's showing 20 degrees inside, actually. So I'm pretty impressed with that. Very, very good product. I mean, the quality of it, you could tell, is incredible. Now, I compared this to the Dometic brand, and although the Dometic had its own pros and cons, like this Winter. The Winter, basically, it came down to it uses less power than the Dometic did. I like that. And, you know, that for me is the big thing. It's just that it uses less power, because it will be plugged in using a battery on his van. A couple batteries, potentially, but one battery for sure. And the nice thing is, again, they have that chart that shows you what you would need as far as solar to run it. That's nice to know. I mean, it's already done. So again, the link's down below. I hope this helped you out in some manner. The only thing I haven't done with that freezer is do a real hot test in the van, which we'll do whenever we get hot again. We'll try to get that. Hopefully he's still around by then. He may just take off, but we tried it in the house there, as you saw, and it worked out pretty good. Now, the other thing that we've done with this van came after something else happened. And again, you guys that have subscribed to us for some time now, you know, watch all our videos, you've seen this already, but let me go ahead and hit the highlights of what happened, which wasn't a good thing. So my son was over at Boardman for a doctor's appointment, and yeah, he had an issue today, and we'll show you whenever he pulls in what's going on. See how bad the traffic is today. So, what's going on? Kaboom. The lady rear-ended him. Yeah, she wasn't paying attention, and he was just sitting at the red light. And, yeah. Damn it. We're gonna have to get that straightened out. So how do you feel? Are you okay?
I have a headache.
You have a headache?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, considering that this is a steel van, and she was driving an SUV, I bet you it was a pretty good hard hit.
Yeah,
Well, at least you're relatively okay. You probably go to the doctor's a little bit later if you wanted. may or may not work, huh?
No, it doesn't. I checked it.
Oh, you did? Yeah, it's stuck on there. Hopefully they didn't stress any of these joints here. That's a thing. Well, her insurance, who was her insurance company?
Oh, they didn't say.
Yeah, it says on the accident report. Damn. She dented this whole corner. This whole corner, did you see it?
Oh, that was there.
No, it wasn't. All this?
Oh, no, that wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't there. Yeah, that's definitely, man, crap. And it's funny because him and I just pulled this off yesterday and treated this for rust to make it look a little better. We pulled the trim off and we pulled the taillight out just to make it a little bit better. So what was the deal? She just wasn't paying attention?
I don't think so at all.
Yeah, she really jacked it up. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, it must have been a tall SUV. Hell, she missed the bumper. I mean, there's nothing on the bumper at all.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Did it mess up her car?
Yeah, it looked pretty bad.
Did she have to get it towed?
No, it wasn't that big. It was like maybe, I think she was going about 30. She hit me.
Well, yeah, if you've got a headache or a stiff neck or something.
It's what is it?
Alexis.
Alexis.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, that was a sad day. As you saw, it doesn't take but just a split second to take something that was pristine and make it not pristine. However, I did do some repairs on it. Unfortunately, I shot this with my phone. It was one of those things that was like I was wanting to get the repair done. I had a small window of time, and even though the house wasn't that far away, I was kind of dirty that day, and I just wanted to get this repair finished. So I apologize for the phone video, but you'll get an idea of what I had to do and what we decided to do as far as his van repair. So let's jump into that. All right, guys, so we're going to do this the hard way. I'm using my phone, but I wanted to give you an update on Bud's van. And the insurance company called. They gave him a fair evaluation, I believe. They told him that his van value from their appraisers was $4,680, so basically $4,700, which is pretty accurate. We got a really good deal on the van, and we've done nothing but made improvements on it, so it's kind of nice that somebody actually did an appraisal that was what I think fair. I always told Bud if he ever sold the van that he needs to start at $6,000, and from that point I don't think I would ever go below $5,000 because this thing does have quite a few features that people like. However, getting back to the point, he doesn't really think that he's going to want to repair the van back to its fullest. Now, I've already pushed out the door as best as I could to get some of this dent back out, and I don't know if you guys know what it looked like before, but it was pretty rough. And we got the doors open. Everything looks really good. There's no air leaking through. That's why the air hose is out. I had him inside there, and I was blowing air all around the edges whenever the doors were closed. There is some damage to, like the bushing here. I went ahead and had to straighten out these down here. They were messed up. but the doors are functional. They're fully functional, and they seal. And I have one problem though, the door striker. This is the rear door latch for this door here. And I don't know if you guys know how these doors work on these older vans, but usually what happens is whenever the door is closed, like so, and you want to open the doors, what you do is you would open this door here, and then you reach in, and there's a lever that you pull to open this door. And that's what this is here. This is the lever and the latch. However, you can see this part is broke, and this holds the door closed. Just this little bit here, it helps hold the door closed. So what I'm going to do is try to take this washer, I'm going to grind and cut on it, and I'm going to try to position it over this area here to where these holes line up and not interfere with any movement. And then what I'll do at that point is weld it. I'm going to go ahead and try to weld this washer on here, and then again trim the washer to repeat this shape here. I mean, it's a lot of grinding, it's a lot of noise, but we'll see what I come up with here. I'm pretty good at rigging things up, and I think I should be able to do this for him, because this latch, I can't find it anywhere. The junkyards that have it are talking like $55, and I'm gonna be honest, we're being pretty cheap here. Why am I saying I'm cheap? Well, it's not that I'm cheap, I just don't want him to spend his money, you know, unneededly. And he's really disappointed that his van that was in darn near mint condition, you know, has a problem. There was some rust that he was going to take care of, but it's again minor. So I kind of talked him out of it, and I told him, listen, as much as I love old Fords, you know, we can repair this one to make sure that it doesn't rust, you know, or we can repair the rust, but there's no sense in us, you know, getting new doors and getting the repair completely done. He can pocket the money. Now, that was always something I told him. Now, to give you an idea, $2,200 I think it is what they're paying him to basically get the van repaired. And at that point, you know, they said you can choose to do it yourself. Well, to have a fully functioning rear door in that, and for them to pay $2,200 for the repair, we paid $3,800 for the van. We've added a bunch of features. He's bought a bunch of stuff for it. I told him that money is definitely something that would be good for him just to hang on to. And he's really good with his money anyways. I mean, right now he's got probably $3,000 in the bank. He you know, we always kid around about it. We're paying for everything. How could he, you know, have any bills that he has to worry about? So if he wanted to, we could fix this van pretty decently and probably sell it for you know, $4,500. And with the money he has in the bank and the money that they're going to send him, he could definitely go out and buy himself another van, and we could start all over again. That's newer and maybe better gas mileage, you know, that kind of a thing. But he really likes this van. I really like this van. It's easy to repair, and again, we've done a bunch of work on it. So as I was talking to you, Heidi sent me a text and said that one of her contacts at one of the local wrecking yards told her that there is a club wagon that they have in the lot, and for us to come take a look at it. The problem is with club wagons, they made club wagons for quite some time, so I gotta make sure it's the right one. But nonetheless, I'm gonna grab the wrench that's needed to pull this latch. I'm gonna put on some better shoes. We'll hop in my truck, go up to the junkyard, and see what they got. Maybe I don't have to do all that fabricating. Okay guys, so we went to a couple of junkyards and they didn't have what we needed. So no laughing at my rig job, and hopefully this works. I might have to do a little bit more trimming, but I did get that other finger recreated. Let me show you. You can see now there's another side, but it is awful thick, and it did take up some of the springs space to be pretty mobile, which I really didn't consider that. So I lubricated it. It is moving okay, but yeah, you can see the washer basically down in there, and it's all welded up. Gave it a little bit of space. Hopefully this works. Let's try it out. All right, so here it is installed. Let me try to get you zoomed in there. And man, it looks a little bit on the Frankenstein side, but it looks like it'll work. See, what it does is
whenever it comes up closer, that piece that was missing, which is now there, hit and caused it to trip the latch. Yeah, look at that. It works. I can make an adjustment so that doesn't move. But yeah, and it releases. So yeah, that's pretty good. Actually, I think that's the right way. Actually, I think I want it that way. When I think about it, yeah, we'll move that in more to where it'll push it even further. Okay, so it's all done. I went ahead and made those adjustments, and you can see the doors don't want to move. I can make them move. Make them move up here a little bit, but it's tight. It's not bad at all. Wonder if I can move that in even more. And then this one, you can see, is pretty darn tight. And I had to shim that up so it engaged it a little bit more. So what we'll have to do is fix these panels, because I pulled them out because these screws were almost impossible to find. I'm telling you, you guys, you can't find these screws. They are so far in here. I was using a magnet, and even then, they're just hidden. They're hidden up in there. We ripped that one off. I got tired of looking for them. I told them we didn't have enough time, and we would just replace the wood on there. But yeah, we're good here. His door closes, latches, all that happy horse stuff, and it's doing the job. That's awesome. So now we don't have to go find that latch.